Welcome to Loren's Adventures Out There. I'm obviously Loren, and I'm with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. Before we start, be sure to subscribe, hit the button below, and be sure to hit the bell to get notifications. So, anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the show. Thanks so much for bearing with me for these first few episodes. But I've really been trying to figure out what I want for the show. I felt like last week's episode was a little too rehearsed, a little too scripted, and I don't want to do that. I want to just talk with you about my love of Disney. I want to hear from you about what you want me to talk about. So I think we're going to take it from there. Today's topic is going to be my 10 most memorable Disney character meet and greets. I did a blog on this before. We talked about my 5 most memorable meet and greets, but I thought I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought that I can come up with 10 of them. So here we go. The first one is Mickey Mouse. I met him back in 1973 at Disneyland. And the reason why he's so special for me, or the reason why that meet and greet was so special for me, was because I was so sick on my first trip to Disneyland. And my dad wanted me to take a picture with Mickey Mouse. And, he dragged me over there, and I wasn't feeling well. And all of a sudden, I just saw Mickey. And I felt better. Like, I literally was not sick anymore. And so I always think that Mickey is magical in that way. And I always go to see him. It's a must for me to go to see him every time I go to a Disney park. So Mickey is definitely on the top of my list. Equally as memorable for me is when I got to relive my first meeting with Mickey Mouse for my 50th birthday. You'll see the photo here. So magical. I can't believe that I was able to do that for my birthday. So, again, another magical moment. Next up is Russell, the Wilderness Explorer from Up. He is one of my spirit characters. And I remember I met him at a special event at Disneyland Paris. And I remember they talking about bringing out Up characters. But when they first brought them out, it was Carl Fredricksen. And I thought, yeah, that's cool. But I really wanted to meet Russell because I hadn't met him yet. A little bit later in the program, they announced Russell, and my ears just perked up, and I ran. I literally ran down. I was on the other side of the event, and I ran down, and the cast members were applauding me as I went down to meet Russell. So it was very, very special for me. The third one is Sadness, who's another one of my spirit characters. Up until that point, I had seen Joy a few times, but for some reason, Sadness was never out. And I really, really wanted to meet her. So I knew that I had a chance at Disney Fan Base at Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Paris. And I went immediately to her line, lined up, waited, I think about an hour for her to come out. And when she came out, I ugly cried. I mean, you'll see the picture, but I ugly cried. And it was just such a beautiful moment. I just was so glad to have met her. So that's another one of my favorite moments. Next up is Thor, who I met for the first time at Disneyland. Now, I don't know if you had gone to Disneyland when he was meeting there, but they created this. I mean, I think it's the most elaborate meet and greet area that I've ever seen. and they had a whole kind of pre-show where they had, artifacts from Asgard out, and then Odin opens the Bifrost and takes us to his throne room where we are met by Thor. And I just remember, again, I was weeping. And the reason why is because I, as a child, I had read his comics. I still read his comics. And I thought to myself at that moment, how meaningful that would have been for me as a child. Like you see, so many little girls so excited to see the Disney princesses. So now, I just thought about the little boys that got to see Thor. And it just really was an exciting moment for me. And again, one of my most memorable meets. The next one are Bernard and Bianca, who I met at a special event at Disneyland Paris. And the reason why they were so memorable for me was I met them actually as a child, and I'll pop up some pictures here. But as an adult character enthusiast, I like to say enthusiast and not hunter. As an adult character enthusiast, I had not met them yet, and so I remember them coming out on stage at Disneyland Paris, and my eyes just popped open, and I was so excited, and I ran over to them and I gave them both a hug, and so that was really, really a magical moment for me as well. The next one is Oswald, who I met at Tokyo Disney Sea when he first debuted. And the reason why that one was so exciting for me was not only because it was exciting to meet him, but I was there with two of my favorite people in the world, and we had such a good time. And so that made it even more magical for me. So having those two people with me was just really important. At number 7 is Jessie at Disney California Adventure. Um, before the rebranding of Disney California Adventure, and it was really boring over there, and you never really went over there unless you needed to. And I went to meet Jessie over at what is Pixar Pier now, but it was Paradise Pier back in the day. And I saw Jessie there, and I was the last one to meet her, and we just had such a good time. And afterwards, she took me by the hand, and we went skipping down the boardwalk to where she went backstage, where I got to say goodbye to her there. And that was my first magical moment that I ever had at Disney California Adventure. So that was a really meaningful and memorable moment for me. Next up is Clarabelle and Horace at my 50th birthday. And the reason why they were so important for me is that they are my two favorites that I think should be VIP characters. And my 50th birthday was the best birthday I ever had. It was just a wonderful day that culminated in seeing all kinds of my favorite characters. But the reason why I put Clarabelle and Horace in here is there was just something magical about seeing them there, and I just enjoyed meeting them so much, and culminating in my 50th birthday. It's another one of my memorable meet and greets, so for sure. At number 9, we have Maleficent at Disneyland. I met her a couple years at Halloween, not for the first time, but this one was extra special because I got into this weird character for some reason, this really evil character, and the two of us were just cackling with delight with each other. And this picture will show you how much we were laughing. And it was just such a great time. It's so memorable for me. So definitely Maleficent at Disneyland. And the final one, number 10, WallE. Yes, WallE. I met him at the 2009 D23 Expo, and it was so cool. I did not know he was a character, but they brought him out at the Imagineering Pavilion, and full as life, he looked and felt exactly like WallE. And so to this day, I remember it. And it was such a memorable meet for me. So those are the 10 of my favorite memorable Disney character meet and greets. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I would really like to hear from you what you'd like me to talk about. And leave those in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to us and hit that bell for notifications. You can reach me at CCC Disney Uni or my personal account at LoJav. And as always, please visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones. Thanks again. Bye.